Hi there. This one is simply to clear the confusion that's doing the rounds about various acronyms, laws, and acts that people have been talking about. We started with CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, then came the NRC, the National Registry of Citizens, and now there is a new term that's doing the rounds, which is the NPR, the National Population Register. Now, if you look at some of the loud TV debates, you might get confused over what is what and if it's all the same. Many are saying it's all the same. NPR is just another name for NRC. Is it really? Let's just try and see what these three things are. The National Population Register is actually an exercise and a database that's created by the government every 10 years. It's a database of all those people residing in India. So what it generally does, it maps out who lives where, what is your name, your age, your gender, your identity, those kind of generic details about you, just like a census exercise. But a census exercise is supposed to give us a sense of the population of our country. An NPR is actually a more comprehensive database of that. It's not the first time that it's going to happen in our country when it happens next year between April and September. That's the government's plan. We actually had the first round of the NPR exercise in 2010. And since then, there have been some updations that have been done. So this is actually a exercise that should happen every 10 years so that the government knows if people have moved around, if you've moved from Uttar Pradesh to Mumbai, if you've moved from Delhi to Chennai, just to get a sense of the demographics of our country and who's residing where. The government says it helps them formulate their welfare schemes and target and ensure that the welfare schemes work in a better way. Is it the same as the NRC? Well, essentially, NPR is about people living in our country. The NRC is for the citizens of India, the National Register of Citizens. So here, if the exercise does take place and when it takes place across the country, you will have to prove your citizenship. For NPR, you don't really need too much of documentation except your ID proof. Maybe your Aadhaar, your ration card, your voter ID. NRC is a completely different animal. There you have to prove that you are an Indian citizen and not an illegal immigrant living in our country, or your father was an illegal immigrant living in our country. That's essentially what it is. Then why are people saying that it's the same? Well, the government itself, multiple times, including in the parliament, has said that the NPR is step one for the NRC. So you have a database and perhaps you work with that database and then you start digging in further and verifying documents and ask people for more documentation to prove their citizenship. But all of this and how the government will do NRC right now is speculation because they haven't designed a comprehensive policy. So what it looks like as of now is that there is a trust deficit perhaps in the minds of some people that the government may be looking at doing NRC in another name. What it could also be is the opposition jumping on this chance to create some more noise and bring about some more trust deficit and fear in the minds of people. But as things stand, CAA is the Citizenship Amendment Act. It looks at giving citizenship to people. NRC would be an exercise and a register for the citizens of this country, and NPR is simply a more comprehensive census exercise to look at the population of this country and who is residing in our country.